all my student friends, welcome once again to my channel Manikansan Study Mantra once again. I hope all of you are well, fit and healthy. So let us start with a new lesson, that is chapter number 5 of the book Living Science, that is from Ratna Sagar, right? So what is the name of this chapter? Without wasting much more time, we just get into it. Okay, the name of this chapter is none other than solids, liquids and gases. This is the fifth chapter that we need to start learning, right? Now first of all, we as we all know that as you all know that I used to differentiate the name. That means I used to break down my each and every words in the title. Understood? So what is the title? Solids, liquids and gases. What are there are three important words, and you can say there are three important parameters that we need to be discussed in this particular chapter. Are what? First one is solids, then liquids, and then the last one will be gases. So as we all know a little bit about these three words, but we will elaborately and with a descriptive way we will understand in throughout this chapter. So first of all, we need to see what is our aim. What is the aim of this particular chapter to be introduced in this particular curriculum, right? So the first one, to enable the students to, that means we need to learn these things. First of all, understand and define matter. So we will learn about the basic thing that is called matter. Okay, so we have to define and we have to understand about matters. What is matter? Okay, the next second one, identify the different states of matter. First we will discuss about matter, then after we will know the different states that we normally see in case of any matter. Okay, and we have to compare their properties also. After that, we have to understand the terms solute, solvent and solution. We will with a great expect we will understand what is the differences between solute, solvent and solution. Now the last one will be what? Conduct some experiment, a simple experiments. Okay, there are several activities, or you can say experiments, simple experiments, but they will give you enough experience from those if you do so. Okay, so without wasting much more time, I directly want to enter into the chapter. Okay, so this is the first paragraph that I will read it first, then I will try to make you understand all the concept regarding it. Okay, so look around your room. You are asked to look around your room. If you look around your room, you will see what? Doors, windows, books, boxes, tumblers, water bottles, pens, CDs and many other things, isn't it? You will look lots of other things also, but here that is not our concern. Okay, we are not going to discuss about all those things, but though we are not discussing about those other remaining things, we will be able to include those into some particular into a few groups. Okay, we can categorize them into some groups, and what are those groups we will learn later. We will learn it very soon. Okay, so after that, the next line is, all these are made of different materials. Absolutely, we all know that different objects or different items are made up of different matters, or you can say materials. Okay, now doors and windows are made of wood, glass, or metal. Doors, windows are made up of wood, glass, or metals. Okay, we will come to these points. Now books and boxes are made of paper. Tumblers and bottles are made of glass or plastic. CDs and pens are made of plastic. So the things around us are made of different materials. Okay, now it is here some kind of introduction is given. Okay, not detailed study is expressed here. Instead of expressing this the details or explaining the details, they are trying to give some kind of introduction. Okay, let us let me explain these things. Okay, so first of all, we see lots of things around our surroundings or inside the room, right, inside our room. So uh, for the first time here, the second sentence, all these are made of different materials. Do you all agree that different objects are made up of different materials? For example, doors and windows are made up of what? Wood. Earlier, doors and windows are made up of wood and glass material, right? But nowadays, if if you are quite familiar with the carpentry section, there you will see nowadays aluminum, metal, and irons are also used to make what? Windows and doors that were normally we see in our home, isn't it? So that means different kinds of material can be used to make doors and windows also. Nowadays it is possible. Now books and boxes are made of paper. We all know about it. Not much remain to understand here, I think. Now tumblers and bottles are made of glass or plastic. Yes, you all quite familiar, I hope, about the material that has been used to make tumblers and bottles. So what are those materials? Yes, glass tumblers are there, glass bottles are there, plastic tumblers are there, plastic bottles are there, even some metallic bottles are there available in our market, isn't it? See, some thermoplastics also available nowadays, which are used for keeping the water or any content that is inside that bottles or tumblers quite hot or cold for longer period of time. We all know about it, right? Such that thermo flux thermoflux, you all know about it. So we can see several material for making tumblers and bottles. Now CDs and pens. What about CDs? CDs means compact disc. So these CDs and the pens that we normally use are made up of what? Plastic. Yes. So things around us are made up of different materials. We all know about it. Now the basic thing, but the most important thing is what is a material and how it is made up of. Understood? That means to make material what we need. So in the next paragraph, there you can clearly see the headline, that is, what is matter made up of. This is a very big, very important question from uh, the point of from the point that we can say a material is made up of some kind of matters. Now what is this matter? We have to learn or we have to know about from this particular paragraph. Okay, all matter in the world is made up of molecules. Then molecules are the smallest, let us turn the page, smallest substances in matter that can exist independently. For example, a drop of water is made up of molecules of water. Okay, if you look at this particular line, here it is explained that material or matter does not is not a single piece. That means one single piece doesn't make a whole material. Understood? That means a material or matters, any kind of matters, is made up of some molecules. Now, what are those molecules? Actually, what is molecule? Yeah, molecules are the smallest of all particles. That means smallest particles that has been combined to form a matter, or you can say material, and which can independently exist. That means what? If you grind or simplify any complex or simple material, then what kind of things you will obtain? There you will see some kind of powdered substance, and those each and every powder indicates a molecule of that particular compound, or you can say material or matter, right? I hope you understood that point. Later in higher classes you will come to know some other smallest particles that will be discussed in higher classes, and that is none other than atoms. I am just to make you aware such that you can later, when you get that particular chapter, you become quite familiar of atoms. So what is atom? Atom is further smallest or simplest particle of matter, and atoms cannot be divided uh, further. Understood? So later we will come to know about these points, but for a time being in this class you need not to learn about those things. There are several other things: electrons, protons, neutrons. These are food for thought, not for this particular year. Okay, but you, if you are interested, you can watch my some other videos also, where you will come to know about these uh, newly introduced terms. Okay, but for a time being, for this particular year, for this particular class, you need not to understand those things. You simply uh, no if you simply go through these term that call molecule. And what is the molecule? What is molecule? Molecules are the smallest substances in matter that can exist independently. And very important example is what? A drop of water is made up of molecules of water. So several molecules of water makes a drop of water. That means a drop of water itself is a very small object, right? A single drop of water, see how small it is. And even more smaller is a molecule of water. That means several molecules of water gets combined to form a single drop of water. And again, several millions of drops of waters are made to make a glass of water. Understood? So see how smallest it might be, or it is. So now the very important thing that we are going to discuss is states of matter. Now there are several states For the time being, in this class you have to learn only three states, but later in class 9 you will come to know that there are five different states, and the two other states are intermediate states which you need not to learn in this class, but for a reference I am just skipping. I just want you to make aware about it. Okay, so no need to worry by thinking about that. Just you here you have to remember that there are total three states that has been existed on our earth. Understood? So these three states are solid, then liquid, and gas. Now what is solid, what is liquid, and what is gas, we will discuss later in this video. So see, if you carefully look at this particular diagram, you can have a small idea regarding it. If you look at it, you are going to see lots of things here, isn't it? But if you classify these things, you will come to know what is solid. This means all these things or objects can be classified into three important categories, and those are none other than solid, liquid, and what? And gas. Gaseous items you cannot see here in the diagram or picture, but the solid things and the liquid things you can definitely look from this, you can observe from this particular diagram. So all the things that we see in this figure or diagram are normally solid, but a few things that are but this is not solid. This is what? This is some kind of liquid things. So we will come to know about it, what is liquid, what is solid now here. Okay, come to this point. Okay, solid. Now what is solids? Hold your pencil tightly. Do you feel it hardness? Do you feel its hardness? It is a solid. That means solids have a fixed shape and a definite volume. Solids can be held. This is so because the molecules in a solid are tightly packed. They cannot move around. However, we can change the shape of some solids by using force. Press a rubber ball, the shape of the ball changes. So solids have a fixed shape and fixed volume. Very beautifully explain the thing. What is solid? See, if you try to press any object, not only the pencil, any object, if you try to press it, if it changes its shape very easily, then it is not a solid. But if it provides some kind of resistance, or if you feel some kind of hardness up to some extent, we can say that this item or this object is a solid. See, solid has some characteristics also. These characteristics are: solids have a fixed shape and a definite volume. Now solid can be held. This is so because the molecules, it is why it is happening actually, because the molecules that are inside any solid are what? Are tightly packed, quite quite tough. They become quite tough because their molecules that has been present inside that particular solid are tightly or closely packed, such that they cannot be moved around. Understood? Still, we can change the shape of a few solids by using some kind of force. Understood? So if we apply some external force, suppose we are trying to press a rubber ball, then what will happen? We can see that the shape of the ball changes, isn't it? Due to the application of force. But normally it doesn't change its shape, and it is not so simple to change the shape of the ball without applying any external force. So it is also a solid, but it is less harder. Understood? But we have to say, we have to learn, or we have to know that solids have a fixed shape and fixed volume. Now come to the liquid. What is liquid? Milk is a liquid. Is it hard? Can you hold it in your hand? No. It does not have a fixed shape because the molecules in a liquid are loosely packed and can move around, isn't it? See, milk is a liquid. We all know about it. Why it is liquid? Because it is not hard and it can move around. The molecules inside that liquid or milk are quite loosely packed. They are not tightly packed, so they can move around, and due to this the shape of the liquid cannot be fixed. It can take the shape of the vessel where you are pouring it. In the next line you will come to know it. It can be poured into a vessel. Liquids take the shape of the vessel in which they are kept. We all know about it. Thus, liquids have no fixed shape. They take the shape of the container in which they are poured, can be poured, and can flow. But liquid have a fixed volume. Still, liquid have some fixed volume. How you can say? See, if I say 1 liter of milk, that means in 1 liter of milk, that much amount of milk is present in any 1 liter of milk. That means if you take 1 liter of milk and 1 liter of mustard oil, and if you measure the volume of both these items or objects, you will see both of them have equal amount of occupied volume. Understood? The same space it will occupy. That means 1 liter, inside a 1 liter bottle, if you fill inside two 1 liter bottles, if you fill mustard oil and milk, you will not be able to distinguish the difference between the milk, 1 liter of milk, and that of the mustard oil. That means both of them have equal volume. Why? Because their volume is fixed. It is true that their shape is not fixed due to the loosely bound or loosely packed molecules, but their volume is quite fixed. Now come to the third state of matter, that is gases. Now try to catch and hold in your hand the smoke of a lighted agarbatti. Can you do it? Definitely not, right? Can you see the air around you? Your answer will be definitely no. Now come to this part. Air is a mixture of gases. Smoke can be seen, but air cannot be seen. You cannot hold a gas in your hand. When air is filled into a balloon, it takes up all the space inside the balloon. We can pump more and more air into a football. It means more air can be filled into the same space. The smell of a perfume spreads quickly from one corner of the room to the other corner, right? This is so because the molecules in gases are very loosely packed and gases can flow easily from one place to another. Thus, gases have no fixed volume, and fill the space of the vessel and flow more easily than liquids. Now, I hope this is a very simple paragraph which indicates some important characteristics of gases. So, if we move to the next previous page, there you have seen that if you try to hold the smoke from a lighted agarbatti, you cannot be able to hold it inside your hand, because it will get, anyhow it will leak out, right? So similarly, if you try to see air around you, you will not be able to see it, but still air is a mixture of gases. Later in higher classes you will come to know that air is a mixture of several gases like oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, helium, argon, and carbon dioxide, and many other gases that has been found in our air. So air can be considered as a mixture of gases. Now smoke, yes, we can see, but we cannot hold it inside our hand. You cannot hold a gas in your hand. When air is filled into a balloon, you can see that air takes the shape or inside the balloon. Yes, that means shape of the balloon. Air takes the shape of the balloon. Finally, we can say that, right? So again we can see something from this example. If we pump more and more air into a football, see, the shape of the volume of the football is fixed enough, but when we pump air inside or into a football, more and more air gets into it, but still the shape of the football does not gets enlarged. That means what? Air have quite spaces among them. That means there is a lot of space available inside the molecules of the air or gases. That means they are quite loosely packed, even more loosely packed than that in the liquid also. That means gas are the molecules of gases are very loosely packed. Understood? So they can move from one place to another quite easily, flow from one places to another. So this is a quite easy example of true, with the help of a very easy example. That is, if you spray a scent, any kind of scent, suppose deo, you are spraying inside at one corner of the room, the person who is sitting on the other corner of the room is also capable of smelling that odor that has been come out of the deo or that scent. Why? Because the scent has been sprayed on one corner only, but it has the characteristic of moving from one place to another. So this that means the air around us or at that place where the spray is being transmitted or get leaked are moved from one or flown from one place to the other corner. Understood? One corner to the other, such that Due to that, that person on the other corner can also experience the smell of that particular scent. So what can we conclude from these observations? That the gases have no fixed shape, they have not even fixed volume also. Feel the space of the, they can feel the space of the vessel and flow quite more easily than any liquid materials, right? So in the activity 1, what you have to look at the figure 5.2. This is the figure 5.2, and you are asked to list out that with what is under the solid items. You have to write water, solids, then liquid, then gases. It is your activity, so you read it quite elaborately. I have described the thing in the at the beginning of this video also. In the middle of this video, you have to categorize them inside that particular chart, such that some of them will come into the solid category, some of them will come in liquid category, and the last one will be the gases. Okay, now come to the other point. States of matter are interchangeable. Okay, few more. I think we should start this in another video. Okay, we will start with this concept, or this from this particular topic in next video, because this video is becoming quite long, so I don't want to make it longer. So I hope you have understood the concept up to here. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe my channel, and share it as far as possible wherever you can. That means Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, wherever you can share, please share my channel. And till the next video, take care of your health, and be safe, stay at home. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you once again.